I just want to point out, I think the last time I spoke to you was High Rise at TIFF.
At TIFF.
And I brought up Beauty and the Beast, and the movie is still not out.
Still not out. I shot it before this one. Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. I'm actually going to adjust it slightly because, well, people don't realize how long a movie like that, how long it takes to bring to life.
Exactly. Well, there's a lot of work to be done. You know, there's a lot of CGI characters, and they want to make sure they do it absolutely rightly, and you know, they'll take their time until they got it perfect.
Jumping into why I get to talk to you today. Congratulations on the movie. Was this a project you went after, or did they come after you?
They came after me, actually, which was very nice.
I see the smile. I'm like,
it's nice when that happens. They had me in mind for the role, and I was the last one to be cast, so that was also quite nice as well, to see the list of amazing actors that they got on board. And so yeah, that's how it happened.
So when was the last time that you went in for a full audition, where you actually had to read and
Beauty and the Beast? I went in and sang for them.
Okay, but that's different. I guess singing is a whole different story. Can you really sing? Yeah. What would it sound like in person? So before Beauty, what was the last time that you really had to push and say, and claw?
High Rise. But I didn't go in an audition, but I had to have a meeting with Ben, and I really wanted the role. So I sort of gave him a little bit of Wilder at the lunchtime, at the dinner table. So something worked. He gave me the job. So.
And this is going to be the generic that everyone's asked you, but the Girl on the Train, just so popular as a book. It's one of those that became in the zeitgeist. So when did you first hear about it in terms of like, when did it first enter your consciousness?
Probably like 6 months before they sent me the script. A friend of mine had read it and she loved it, and but it was, you can't really avoid the title. It became so part of the common. That's the ice melting in my bucket over there. My bottle of champagne I should be drinking the second you leave. Only joking. There's no alcohol in this room, unfortunately. I sound like Rachel. So I was very aware of it, and then obviously they sent me the script. I read the script, and then I got the book and read that as well.
I have not read the book. I know that they transitioned it from London outside, obviously, but were there other big changes from the book?
Not really. No, I think mainly it was the moving from London to New York. But weirdly, it doesn't really have any impact on the story. It could be anywhere, The trains, we all catch trains anywhere in the world.
Talk a little bit about the making of the movie. Was this one of these things where it was a very playful set? Was it a very serious set? Like, especially because there's certain dramatic scenes with your character.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say the scenes were so serious that we had to have a bit of levity during the takes, between the takes, because it was, nobody really wants to stay in those dark places for too long. And when you're sitting with Emily Blunt, she's just been told she's going to be playing Mary Poppins, you sort of have a lot of questions to ask. And she had a lot of questions to ask me about Beauty and the Beast, so we were all right, we were good. We switched it on when we needed to, and we let it go when we didn't need it. So
that has to be a real... It's so funny because a lot of people forget that everyone who works in the business is a fan. Like, you're not doing this because you don't love movies.
Yeah.
It's making a movie, the longer I've been doing this, the more I'm amazed at the patience of actors.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just see the glamour, but, making a movie takes a long time.
Long time, and it can take a lot out of you as well. I mean, Emily, this role is incredibly difficult and taxing on many, many levels. And she was also pregnant,
Yeah.
Incredible. She's like a tour de force.
Yeah, I would imagine, no bullshit, how much have people wanted to talk to you about Beauty and the Beast? Because I'm just going to tell you this now on my site, I run Collider, and it is crazy the traffic for Beauty and the Beast. Like, there is a ridiculous amount of interest in this movie. Are you aware of this?
Yes, very much so. I mean, I remember when they released that teaser trailer of whatever it was, 30-second teaser trailer earlier this year, and it broke all the records, like 91.8 million views in 24 hours, and beat Star Wars, Avengers, Captain America. You go, okay, I don't think even Disney were ready for that to happen. No one was prepared to see those numbers, which makes you realize how loved and how excited the world is about this film, and I just think it will deliver for all those people on so many levels, including some new levels, because of the new technology that we have and how epic the whole film is, and that's fantastic.
Well, once you put Bill Condon and musical together, I'm like, fuck yes, I'm in. You know,
Yeah, right.
I think a lot of people don't realize that, you know, this is a great filmmaker for this material.
He's perfect. Yeah, you couldn't have chosen a better person to helm this movie and take it to where it needed to go. And you know what I love about Bill? He's like, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. And in a way, that's what he's done. He's brought everything you want from the original into this film, and some special moments that, you know, we can't even talk about.
Listen, I can't wait. Jumping backwards again, back into Girl. The reason I could talk all about beauty, but we'll do that down the road. With Girl, though, I am curious. I believe Tate was telling me that he likes to just do a few takes and really set it all up in rehearsal. So talk a little bit about collaborating on this one, and, you know, was there ever a day that it was like 10, 20 takes, or was it, you know, was it what he said, which is like a lot of 2-3 takes?
Yeah, no, it's exactly how it works, and I think he thinks like that because he knows how actors work. And most actors I know are not. I don't like doing 10, 20, 30 takes. Although I have worked with directors, Peter Jackson, who likes to do a million takes, and that's fine. And once you get into that mode, you go with it, and that's what the director requires. Then you go with it. You have to trust the director that he's looking for something and he'll get it or whatever he needs. But actually, I quite like the immediacy and the you know, the simple 2-3 takes. I often think that sometimes the best work comes out of the first couple of takes anyway, because it's impulsive, it's natural, and it's instinctive. That after the third or fourth take, unless you're really changing the scene around, you are relying on repetition, and you might be replicating something. As the more you do it, you know, there'll only be elements of those takes that will be able to be used, I think, by a director, and they're looking for some one moment or, you know, something like that. So I like to work like that, and I think Tate, coming from an actor's point of view, because he was an actor, I think he knows when he's got what he's got, and instead of hanging around, he moves on.
Well, he said he did rehearsals.
Exactly.
I'm very curious, though. Sometimes I've spoken to actors that really, they want to do minimal rehearsals because they want to find it in the moment, because that first take is the one where, like, it's the most natural and it's the most real. So yeah. I'm very curious about balancing, you know, going full bore in the rehearsal.
I don't feel like he did too much rehearsal with me. I don't feel like my scenes were rehearsed at all. Like, we didn't expend any of the great stuff in a rehearsal. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's mainly getting it right, getting the structure of the scene right. But that doesn't mean you have to go full out and, you know, do all that great stuff that happens in the first minutes, you know, once you first do a rehearsal. But you capture most of it.
Sure. It is also interesting talking to people about, because some actors love silence on the set and some actors love music, and each person has their own way of working. So talk a little bit about what you like to typically do, and without naming a name, maybe the craziest person you've worked with in terms of like their style.
Well, my technique and what I require to get myself into a role differs per film, depending on what I'm doing. The craziest person I've ever worked with, he didn't learn his lines, and he had huge cards behind the screen, behind the camera.
Did you work with Marlon Brando? And I did not know this.
It wasn't Marlon. But yeah, that was quite interesting. Huge cards, yeah.
That's so interesting, because it's amazing to me more of that kind of behavior or that kind of thing doesn't actually get out. Because it's, you know.
People do it.
Oh, I'm sure. And I've heard about earpieces. I've heard everything.
Yeah,
you
right.
know?
I mean, yeah, whatever floats your boat. I just like to be off page as quickly as possible. I can't even start a film without knowing every single scene in the film. I have to be completely off page. But I think that's because I come from theatre. And until you can get it on its feet without the scripts in your hands, you can't really stage it and feel the physicality of the role or the scene. So I put myself under a lot of pressure before starting a film, because I have to be completely off page for everything, not like half the beginning of the film or the end. The whole thing has to be.
So you can basically show up on set on any day and you can pretty much do it. So I guess that's pretty cool, though, when you're working long hours, in terms of like not having to go home and then learn.
Oh, I couldn't do that. No, I wouldn't sleep at all if I thought that it was a scene I didn't know. So, because it would be an actor. I might have a nightmare when somebody goes, I could go into set in my nightmare and they're like, oh, we're going to do scene 79 today, and I'm like, I don't know it. I haven't learned it. I didn't realize we were doing that today, you know.
So what happens when the pages start becoming yellow and pink, when there's adjustments?
I start kicking off. Enough of this now.
Right.
No more. Come on now. Actually, relearning is hard. It's much harder than learning it for the first time. Because often they're just tweaks. They're not like huge chunks that have changed.
Sure. That's great though. I can imagine. I would imagine. I want to meet the person who's giving you like a whole new paragraph.
Oh, they come shaking.
My last thing for you, I believe that Universal's making all these monster movies. Any talk about any sort of appearances or any stuff like that?
There is dialogue. Yeah, that's all I really know at this point. But it's it'll be interesting to find out. It's a big old franchise, you know, and I think they're trying to get the structure correct and how it will unfold because there's lots of these monsters, and I don't think Dracula's dead. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that, and I know I got to go. It's very interesting because they really, from the outside, it feels like they're very serious about these upcoming monster things. Like this is a big priority for them, and with the whole interconnected universe of all these different movies, you know, like Marvel and I would be surprised if they're not trying to, you know, weave.
Yeah, it would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it?
It might, yes.
Yeah, if you can put Iron Man with Thor.
Sure.
Why can't you put Dracula with the Wolfman?
Sure. I'm very curious.
Compare fangs.
On that note, let me hit stop.